Hello, all you wonderful, amazing, spectacular tea people, and welcome to tis Wednesday. So a beautiful Wednesday. You can hear the birds singing, the bees humming, and on the beautiful east coast of Taiwan, you can see behind me, we finally have a little bit of a sunny day. We are in the time period where wintertime slowly arrives. But then you get a sunny day and it goes up to like 28 degrees, and you can go swimming in the river. So I'm not complaining. Today, here's a cheat code. You see how people are doing these now? So this is Taiwanese tea, and well, you can hear they're flying. They're flying. You can hear them. You can see one there. There they are. Yeah, nothing special. It's a little early today. Usually it's around 10 o'clock when they're flying around. But anyways, a normal event in the morning. So a cheat code when you're looking at expensive teas, if it's organic, if it's hand picked, and blah 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 blah. Now in Taiwan, there's no stickers. Stickers are for the plebs. It's all stamps and it's all brown paper. So these are just normal tea packaging. But this is normal tea packaging. But it's all stamps now, which I really like. I like it, right? The fact that I have to do the stickers and do all that sort of stuff for these types of things, it's like, but this is what I really enjoy. But anyways, these are two of the amazing teas that I got at the tea show. And we can talk about them, and we can talk about what's coming next. And just, right now, if you're thinking about buying tea, don't buy tea right now. Wait. Do not buy tea right now. Please do not buy tea right now. Don't buy it. And the reason you shouldn't buy it is because there's going to be a sale. Now, this year I've already decided, after listening to Brent Johnson and learning about the milkshake theory, the discount this year for the sort of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale is going to be quite large. It's going to be 15%. And so I'm going to do a 15% sale on that. And I usually do like an 11% sale. But this year, the US dollar is, actually, I should have done the whole thing. I'll talk about that in a second anyways. I've been explained what I should be and should not be doing by a mentor of mine. And I got to practice doing some stuff. And so that tea sale will be happening in the next couple days, certainly by the weekend. So there's going to be a big sale on the weekend. I'm going to do it a week before and probably just run it for like a week. Why not? But the reason that I'm going to do, like I said, the reason I'm going to do such a large discount for the sale is, of course, the US dollar is just the DXY is at 106 right now, which means that a lot of places in the world, because everything I sell, right, everything goes into the US dollar. The US dollar is the world currency. And so it goes in the US dollar and then it goes into local currencies. And so everybody all over the world is going like, whoa, that's really expensive right now. And my costs are in Taiwanese dollars. Because my costs are in Taiwanese dollars, I'm taking in US dollars. I'm getting like sort of the arbitrage boost there. And so because I'm getting the arbitrage boost, I really don't think it's fair that I get to keep all those extra percents, just because of the milkshake. So I'm going to give a bigger, like I said, I'm going to give a bigger discount for the sale this year. So hopefully, like poor Canadians might be able to get their hands on some tea. Whereas if it was a lower discount, maybe they couldn't. But enough about that. Let's look at this. Now, I've just got back. Well, I didn't just get back. I got back. I guess today's Wednesday. Yeah, I guess I got back on Monday. But I drank so much tea. I had such a good time. It really was a really, really good time to go to the tea show on the weekend, Sunday and Monday. And then I came back, and then I had like just a rest day. And now I'm back getting into the swing of things, going back, doing all this stuff. And I brought back some of the teas, the beautiful teas that I got at the show. And right now, wafting up here is the amazing, beautiful, subtle smell of Chen's, Mr. Chen's springtime, his classic Dongding Oolong, or his classic take on the Dongding Oolong. Now, if you want in the Discord, or if you're already in the Discord, then I maybe you already read this, but anyways, the Discord is out there. I'm gonna start sending out the links. Then with this sale, they'll be in the newsletter links. When that goes out, there'll be a link to the Discord. If you want to get into Discord right now, just let me know. Send me a message, and I'll fire you off the link to the Discord. But what we're looking at right now for the wintertime teas are not as good as I wish they were. So the wintertime teas, and everybody's sort of the same. It's just really not that good. And, you know, it's funny. I went to go see a buddy of mine, and forgive me here. I'm just gonna wipe the camera on the phone, or on the computer here. It's a little bit cloudy, and too much rain, too many typhoons. It's no good this year. Now, I'm not saying it's terrible, right? I did get the wintertime Phoenix Valley, the Phoenix Valley wintertime, and that's always just an amazing tea. Always, every year, it's always just been amazing. And I got some of that, and that's really good. And the other time, wintertime teas, they're sweeter, a little bit lighter than they would be in the past, and they're not terrible, right? I'm not saying like, don't buy them, they're terrible, they taste bad. No, because I bought them, and I want to support the people. You'll be able to taste the difference between like a good year and a bad year type of thing. But they're really not the best. Not the best year. And so when I went around to the tea show, I was going out and sampling all the teas. And I was able to get a bunch of these really, really good springtime, charcoal roasted types of teas, right? Because a lot of the people, like say, for example, Nanhu, the Nanhu Dashan, awesome fellow, he didn't even pick the wintertime teas. He didn't even pick them. Because what happened was, it was dry, then the typhoons shook all the tea leaves, and then it rained a lot, and then the tea leaves went whoop, like that, and then they were sort of like shook around tall tea leaves. He's like, "No, I'm not doing it. I'm done. I'm just." So he just went and he just cut them back so that hopefully there will be like a snow pick. So hopefully around January, right around January the 1st, you know, Christmas time, there'll be like a snow pick for the guys up in the mountains. I'm really, really hoping that'll happen. Now, I'm telling you that because the teas that I was able to get at the tea show, or sort of the things that I was able to do, I wasn't getting sort of fresh teas. I was making friends, making connections, and getting sort of the more wintertime teas, the springtime teas. And I'll tell you, I got some bangers, which two of them are right here. Now, you know, I mentioned, I don't know if you watch these live streams, but I have started sort of a Discord server, and in that Discord server, I'm going to be launching teas that are, or offering teas that are a little bit more expensive than the regular site, right? So like right now on all the different stream things, we got about 10 people watching this, right? And so the people who are watching this or might watch this later, I mean, you guys are the hardcores, right? You just absolutely love tea. You're willing to, you know, brave the buzzing bees and hear me talk about tea. And so the people who are sort of on this, listening to this, and interested in these types of things, in the Discord, I'm going to be releasing some of these more expensive teas. We talked about this, right? This is going to happen more. And I don't know what kind of dumb marketing words I can use. Premium, exclusive, rare, you know, like. Anyways, the problem is that this tea, which is Chen's springtime tea, I bought all he had left. And it was only like, what was it? I don't know, like couple kilograms, right? That's all he's got left. And so I can, if you want some, you're going to have to get in touch with me, right? If you want some, you're going to have to get in touch with me because just a couple kilograms, there's a lot of people who are going to want that tea. And I bought all he had left. And it's Yin Fen Fate, right? So I go and see him. And he's quite an amazing guy, really unique, younger guy. I guess he's probably a little bit younger than me, maybe about my age. And yeah, probably a little younger than me. And he does these amazing teas. About 4 or 5 years ago, he was quite famous because there's some people that found him, and it was in the Western world. And I haven't had his tea in the past because there's so much drama. So this guy had so much drama because there was one tea company that's since gone out of business in the States, and then he said, "Listen, I don't want to have to send out to all these people because it's like I got to make tea because all these people wanted his tea." So he said, "Okay, you sell my tea," and then everybody else complained, and then blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so I was like, I'm not getting involved in that. So I stayed away for a couple of years, and I've gone back now because everything's all cleared up and ready to go. So he's quite a famous guy in that context, and he just makes beautiful tea, and I'm so happy because I went there and I went there to see him the first time. We tried all the teas. I'm like thinking, what am I going to get? What am I going to get? What am I getting? I go there the second day, right? I'm like, okay, this is what I'm thinking I want to get. I want this one. I want this one. This, and then he turns around and he goes, "Oh, I still have this," and he pulls out his springtime classic Dong Ding that he had forgot to place on the shelf, and it was basically all he had left, and I'm like, "Why don't we try that one?" So I tried that one. I'm like, "Okay, I'm all of it, all of it." And there was somebody sitting beside me from Singapore, and they tried it too. And then they were just tea drinkers. And they're listening to this conversation. They're going, "I would like to buy some, please." So these people bought some of this tea as well, and but I bought all of it, right? I just was like, And so what else did I get? So I got some of that. There is his stuff is Wui as well. So he's got some Wui oolong from the springtime that it's going to be sent to the shop eventually. It's not quite as expensive. It's not like the super, super expensive stuff. So it's a little bit easier on the budget. And I bought a lot of it. So that'll be for sort of the regular stuff, the regular site. And then he also has and I threw this in the Discord just briefly talking about it, but what he has access to some red robe. So Da Hong Pao from Wui, that cultivar of tea. And apparently there was a couple, like 5-6 years ago, there's somebody who was in China and they went there and they got their hands on some cuttings and then they stuck them in jars and then they took them out. They flew back across to Taiwan and then they grafted them onto the plants. And so this was about 5 years ago. And then they've finally this year, they're actually ready to go. And I sampled the tea that he has right now before it is ready to be roasted. And it's really fascinating tea. Right? It's a really, really fascinating tea. It's a really fascinating tea because it's a Chinese tea. It's 100% Chinese, right? It's just a Chinese tea, period. The cultivar. And if you ever had sort of the Taiwanese Wui, which is, anyways, that's a long story. But there's one cultivar in Taiwan, which is the Taiwanese Wui cultivar. That's very, very, very like Chinese, but not even all that much Chinese. Like it's just got this ness to it that the rest of the sort of the quote unquote Taiwanese types of teas don't really have. And so the quote unquote, like the Taiwanese teas don't really have. And that he's going to roast it sort of like this. It's going to be an amazing tea. It really is. It's going to be amazing tea and about as unique as they come. So it's, the red robe cultivar from China done in a mid roast, sort of in the Taiwanese style by a young tea master. So I've reserved some of that as well. That'll be done in December sometime. what's the point? Point is, CY Chen stuff is going to be on the site. How's it going? Wonderfully well. Wonderfully well. I hope you are doing well as well. And so what this tea is right here, this is his. I'm loving the cakes. Oh yeah, you got a lot. you got like a kilogram of those cakes. So what do you think? What do you think? Are they like I described them as like a Taiwanese chopur? I love the cakes. Anyways, did you think it was like they're actually like sort of the Taiwanese chopur? We're talking about the Dongding oolong teas that were made into cakes that I got at the last tea show. So there was two of them. One is from 2012 and one is from 2020. And the 2021 is a little bit more refined. It was made with the competition leaves. So it's not quite as chopur-y. But the 2012 stuff, it's kind of chopur-y. It's kind of chopur. I don't know if you guys have tried it yet. But I set it all out. You know, people who were interested, they bought it. And then it's sort of been people buying samples a little bit, but nobody's bought a lot of it. And anyways, it's interesting. It's certainly not going to go bad. Yeah, well, we should set that up, man. We should set up a chat. Absolutely. Now, why did I get this another classic Dongding, right? Why did I get another classic Dongding? Well, number one, it's a beautiful tea. And even if you have teas that are sort of similar to the other teas, if they're really, really good, there's lots of people who like Dongding oolongs, right? Like Dongding oolong is not like, oh, I hate Dongding oolongs, I'll never drink it again. You know, that's not what people say. They like Dongding oolong. So this is another version of sort of the Dongding oolong. And he is obviously a master roaster, master tea producer, right? This is CY Chen. He's amazing. And it's different. Now what I've done, and I didn't realize this sort of when I started, but I'm thinking about it now. I've literally gone and we'll talk about Pian, which is I would call him my mentor. Out of these three people, so we've got the Su Agong, we got the 88-year-old, the 88-year-old. I guess he's 89 now. The tea master who I buy the old master Dongding from, who taught Su Pian, his nephew, about tea roasting and about the tea business. And then you have over here, you have the reaction sort of to it. And that is CY Chen. So he's over here and he's the reaction sort of to this family. He's not part of that family. And he's creating these things that are still the soul, the breadth, the soul of the Dongding style. But he's also going in his own way, and he's trying to sort of slough off the real sort of the weight of only doing the Dongding style of tea, right? But he's mastered the art of the original, and now he's trying to bring in other cultivars and do fun stuff. He also did, say for example, he did a tea guanyin, but I didn't get it. Mostly because the tea trees are only about 3 years, and there's still a little bit of a catch in there. And I know he's just going to do better stuff. It's going to be amazing. So the point is, there's going to be a few Dongding oolongs on the site. Okay, there's going to be a few Dongding oolongs on the site. And what you're looking at for this one here, so beautiful, sweet, all the things that you're looking for in a Dongding oolong. But there's a difference with this, and it's charcoal roasted. So this is a charcoal roasted version of the classic Dongding oolong, like the old master Dongding oolong, that style of oolong. This is charcoal roasted. And so what it has going for it is roundness, smoothness, and basically just different hands, different masterful hands, sort of creating the same style of stuff with very, very similar material and ideas on how to do it. And like I said, I only, I could only get like a couple kilograms of it. And what would be the difference between the Old Master Dong Ding? The Old Master Dong Ding is much more upfront, full, in your face. It's electric roasted. It's done by an older man who's wanting to get all of those flavors in the upfront, make a really long, beautiful, uniform, round flavor profile coming through. This is charcoal roasted. It's different. It's harder to do, sort of round. He still pulls it off, but it's very, very similar, except it's got more of the warming here. So it's got this warming thing right here, just going. Whereas the Old Master Dong Ding doesn't quite have that. And it's not like it's really far away from it, but it doesn't quite have that. And it's just, I can feel it. Just beautiful. It's awesome. Love it. What's the link to the Discord you mentioned? Well, I hope there's something on the other side of your name that is wonderful and is worth it. But just send me a message and I'll send you the link. I love all the dong dings. Yes, well, that's it, right? Most people who like dong dings, they like all the dong dings, right? They're not like, I hope they like. It's not like, no, I'm sorry, I only like mid-roast dong dings. No. If you like the dong ding style, I feel that my wallet will be lighter soon. But there's going to be 15% off. 15% off. So it might be lighter, but anyways. But this one, because I don't have too much of it, it'll probably be in the Discord first. So the Discord folks will have access to it. And what do you even think about? Anyways, I got to think about what to do about the Discord and sort of these types of teas and pricing on all of that. Anyways, we'll figure it out. It'll be okay. Everybody be happy. Everybody will be able to get what they do. But this is really, it's just a beautiful tea, and I'm so happy because I'm able to, make a connection, and also too, like for example, for next month's subscription box. So you got Mr. Chen is sitting right here, right beside him is his buddy who sells Chinese teas, the pour, and he had the little show pour mini tools, like the little mini tools. And with those little mini tools, you never know where they're actually from and all this. Anyways, he tested them, so they're not like horrible, but they're about 20 years old, give or take. And and so I bought some of them to throw in the subscription box because why not? They're a pretty good deal. And I was like, wow, I want to share these, And so going to the tea shows are great because I was able to meet somebody, and have access to something like if this guy is friends with this guy, chances are, this guy's good. Chances are this guy's not a horrible person. And so, so that works out pretty well. And that's going to be in the next subscription box as well. Can I email you for the link? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Again, the link to the Discord will be in probably the next newsletter. What I did, I just put a story up on Instagram, and about 25 people got in touch. And so there's about 25 people in the Discord right now, and it's, there's a few tumbleweeds. It's not like it's not a raging Discord server, and I doubt it ever will be. But it's really nice people. it's really nice people, right? It's nice people, and so we'll be able to go in, and we'll be able to. It's a beautiful tea. We'll be able to go in and sort of, and I might even just do sort of tea drinking on Discord because you can do it right on Discord. And I might just do that just because I I might just do it on Discord because, I mean, some of the teas, like I'll give you an example of one of these teas. I got an Eastern Beauty that is competition level, but they didn't actually make enough to put it into the competition. So if you want to put it into the competition, you need a certain amount of tea, but they didn't have enough. And so they just had it at the show, and they were selling it at the show. And these are people I know. This is where I've gotten Eastern Beauty from before. And I tried it, and I was like, give me all you got. All they had was 600 grams. And it was expensive. It was expensive, right? So 600 grams of this tea, and I bought it. And so if I do, like, say, do a live stream right here and say, okay, I've only got 600 grams, and if it, if it works really well, then maybe, like, I don't want to start that crazy sort of. Anyways, I think selling that tea, especially through the Discord, would be much better, because the people who are going to go through the time to go and join the Discord, they're going to be much less likely to go, why is this tea so expensive? It's basically what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to hedge my bets. But again, if you guys are watching this, Raging Discord Server is the name of my next band. Well, there you go. There you go. I've actually been in a couple, and they're very, very interesting. One of my hobbies is, anyways, let's just say AI stuff. And I'll tell you, the further you get into the AI, the further you find, every once in a while, you find one of those raging AI Discord servers that are, like, I'm a boomer, right? I walk in there and I'm just like, oh, I hope you guys get better. Like, if you guys don't figure this out, we're so screwed as a society. But they will. Young people will, for sure. Something like a live tasting chat channel on the Discord would be fun when everybody's orders arrive. Well, I'm also thinking about trying to do I'm also trying to figure out how to do. I think I'm going to do this, like a subscription box once a month. If you get the subscription box, sort of a thing, once a month live stream where everybody get the subscription box, can sort of drink it together. I think that would be fun. I don't know. Has anybody gotten the bird planted red yet? Did anybody try that yet? Did you get in your box? I'm curious to see what. I guess it's about right now where all the boxes will be showing up. So I'm curious whether people got the. I did not know you did an Instagram. What? That's the only thing I do. You're missing out. I don't even. I guess I have a Facebook, but I don't even. Anyways, there's been some poor drama recently. Well, see, that's the thing. I just don't want to have anything to do with it, right? And especially the poor stuff, right? The drama stuff, it's just so boring to me. It's just so boring. It's just so boring. It's like, these are 1,000-year-old trees. Okay, really? Okay, do you have proof? Do you have the lineage? Anyways, whatever. The point is, I want to moat the Discord server in the context of when we're selling the really expensive teas. I want people in the Discord server to know, well, obviously, one, the difference between something that's high value and something you not like, right? You can still say, I don't like this, but it's still high value, right? But the second thing is, people make mistakes. The people in the Discord server I'm going to make mistakes. And anybody who's been around in the tea business for a while knows people make mistakes. It happens. And so, the people who would go to the Discord server would be like, okay, what's the deal? Well, ask the question directly to me. I can ask it directly wherever I got the tea, and figure things out. and I'm sure there's a lot of drama. I know nothing about it. I don't even, I don't know, posted about it in the Discord maybe, just so I know who to avoid in the future if I ever come across them. It's funny. It's funny. Again, I'm not a gossip, and I'm not going to ever mention names, but I have had, people that I trust and very, very close friends of mine tell me about competitors and how bad they are and how they lied and rip them off and things like that. like full on, like, direct competitors. And so I know who to avoid. Yeah. Anyways, I'm never going to talk about that. Okay. Now, we talked about this. We got this. I'm going to do one last steep on this, and then we're going to talk about this. So this is Su San Pian. And this is the nephew of the fellow, the man who's probably close to his 90s at this point, who does the old master Dongding. And so he taught this fellow everything he knows. And he's sort of a reaction to a lot of these things as well, in the context of there are the older generation that just do decent but bulk. So you're looking at Dongding oolongs, they do a lot of Dongding oolongs. A lot. And they sell it for cheap, and they have their customer base. And he went, I don't want to do that. And he went this. He went like this. And where he went was organic, handpicked. He does everything himself. He has just the most beautiful tea drinking space I've ever been in my life, and I've been in a lot of them. He has the most beautiful tea drinking space in Taichung, right in the downtown area of Taichung. So, and he is, invitation only. He is one of those guys who, the creme de la creme of tea drinkers. You just try his tea and you go, wow, and then you go and seek him out. And he's that guy. And so his teas are, expensive, and he doesn't make very much of them. And his teas are, wildly organic, wild left, blah, 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 blah. And I say blah, 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 just because I'm not about all those things are valid and important, but, and what he has created is, and he's slowly sort of starting to build it up, but he does things like, people will, if there's like a fancy event, people will say, hey, come and do a white tea for us, right? So they'll pay him a lot of money to go to another tea garden to make a white tea, and then they'll use that white tea for like a special event or something, but they won't actually say he made it, right? So this is the type of person who he is. And he's slowly sort of building up his name. And what I enjoy the most about all this stuff is making connections with these types of people. All right. So the first time I met him, I was like, I can't sell your tea. I'm not good enough. Your tea's too expensive. I can't do it. I'm not good enough as a person sense tea seller. I can't sell your stuff. It's not okay. I can't do it. And but I'm going to work towards it now. And he was like, okay, I like you. And so we built up a relationship. We've seen each other every, once a year, once every couple of years at these tea shows and various other times. And this year I was like, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. Now, what I bought from him are two different, very heavy roasted teas. So if this is, your very light to mid roast, the teas that I bought from him are heavy heavy. They're just not mid-heavy. No, they're heavy roast. One is electric, one is charcoal, and they are like like you know how people will just roast uh, bad teas and they'll just put a huge roast on them, and then people will. Those teas are oftentimes like bad show pours, right? So if you ever had a bad show pour, you have one once, you're like, I'm never drinking that again. That tasted like rotten fish and not like the Japanese way. And so people will never drink that again. They'll never drink it again, which is sad, right? Because there are good show pours. You just gotta not get a crappy one. And so these are teas that are absolutely amazing. They're absolutely amazing, but they're expensive, right? They are expensive, and everything's done by hand rolled. Everything is it's all just. Anyways, I'll probably go through these again and sort of do. And like, if I just can you give it a smell? if you just give it a smell, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But like this is the charcoal roasted one, and the first time I had the electric roasted one, I was like, "Is this charcoal roasted or electric roasted? I can't tell the difference. I can't tell them apart." And he only makes. Each style of tea only makes a couple of kilograms a year, and blah 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 blah. But I think it's time. It's time to be able to sell these teas. It's time to be able to sell these teas, and it's time to be able for, sort of the world to enjoy these teas, because the world should. The world should. And as you can see, I am sitting here. I am not drinking out of bowls. I'm using a beautiful teapot made from Hualien clay. I am putting it into two. They are mismatched, but I'm working on it. Cups here. And the reason that I'm doing this is because at one point he says, you get over here and you pour the teas. And I'm like, I can't pour the teas. And the reason I can't pour the teas is because I haven't practiced. I have not practiced pouring teas for a very, very, very long time. So I have not served tea for other people. I laughed with them. I said, I sit in front of my cell phone and I talk about the teas, and then people buy them based on what I say, and it's hilarious. And it's awesome, because at this point I'm like, okay, I can communicate well, and no one. The only time I've ever heard in the past maybe 6 months to a year, the only time I've ever heard somebody say the tasting notes were wrong was somebody wrote a review about the wild ginger oolong, and they said, I didn't get the spiciness, but the flower was right. The floral tasted right, but I didn't get the spiciness. And so I've been able to do that. Awesome. But I wish I could, have a space where people could come and visit, and then I could do the teas and you guys could try them out and all that sort of stuff. But I haven't done that. Actually, I have no space for that at all. This is the closest I have. And so that's the next sort of plan. You just don't find teas like this. You just don't. And, if you are a fan of roasted teas, charcoal roasted teas and these types of things, I mean, can you see? No, you can't see. The leaves are golden black, for a better way of describing it, and super bright. The smell coming off of them is this complex caramel incense. Oh, right, I'm supposed to do it in a British accent. That was a request I got in a comment the other day. But no, I don't want to. I don't want to start beef. And besides, it's homage. It's homage. It's not starting beef. You can see here this bee. That's actually a Taiwanese meifeng or a Taiwanese bee. Sorry, not one of these bees. And this is grown in a garden that is clean, but it's not wild grown. They take care of it, and they give it like organic fertilizers and things like that. This is a clean, conventional. I don't think it's not certified organic, but basically it's organic. This is from a garden that's so wild and so left that it doesn't produce enough tea to actually go get it tested because the tea is so expensive to make and produce. So you can't take this tea and go and get it tested because that would be like a decent percentage of the production run. And so when you're looking at this is masterfully produced Dongding Oolong, charcoal roasted. Everything about it is beautiful. And then you look at this, and this is your Pareto distribution for teas. Right? We talked about the Pareto distribution. If you don't know it, go ask your favorite, AI chatbot. But you're looking at the 20%, 20-80 rule, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. And so this is I don't know how many 20%. So okay, so if you're gonna get a decent dongding anywhere in the world, so say all the good teas at the tea show, those are the good teas. That's the 20%, right? And then you get to the good teas in the tea show. That's another 20%. And then you get to this one, which is 20% of that 20%, and then probably another couple 20%, and then you get this tea, right? So this is like a 0.0001 tea. And I say that, right? And I say that, and I'm like blah 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 blah, right? But I've had a lot of dongdings, and I've had a lot of charcoal roasted teas, and I've had a lot of electric roasted teas, and I've had a lot of teas, and it just really is. And it's expensive. Now, when you are looking at this style of tea and this type of tea, remember I said before that when I first met this man and I tried his teas, I said, no, I'm not selling you teas. Because when I sell teas, I have to have, deep in here, I've got to have this, when I say, buy this tea, it is worth the money and it is good. If I say that, I need to be able to have that as a smooth thing going through. I have to believe it, right? I have to believe it. If I say, here's some tea from yesterday, buy this tea, it's super great. Can you see? I don't know if you can hear the difference in my voice, right? Obviously don't. So it's, I have to be able to have that, and I couldn't have it before because I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I was good enough to be able to, one of the things about really good teas that are wild left and clean and all that sort of stuff, super important, is when you look down at the tea in bright light, the outsides will be one color. Here, it'll change to another color. It'll sort of be the same, but then the center will be a different color. Generally speaking, on the outsides of the tea, you're looking at like a darker color, richer color, richer color, richer color. And then when you get right to the center, it's going to be a little bit of a lighter color. And, when you come across teas like that and you drink them, for me anyways, I can just look at a tea, just go like this, look at a tea. I can tell whether whether there's the chance for it to be like a wild tea grown in the wild, because that's what wild teas are. So much stuff in them. There's so much stuff in them that when you actually brew the teas, that's happening. Is it going to rain, guys? What's going on? I don't know if you can hear. Anyways, the bees are getting loud. Oh, looks like they might be. Oh, they might be swarming. Anyways, I gotta. After this, I gotta go take a look at my bees. Anyways, but this is like just a really good tea. Yeah, I think my bees might be leaving, unfortunately. Anyways, I'll go deal with that in a minute. But what you're looking at when you're looking at these teas, and when you're looking at this, is a tea that, well, I'll talk about it more probably on the Discord, right? Because when you're looking at a tea like this, when you're looking at a tea that is, like drinking this tea right now, I'm already starting to get the chi, right? This is warming chi. It's nice. It's decent, but it's not wildly strong, right? It's not like a super strong chi, right? That's not what this tea is. It's nice. It's better than, the pre was better than most. But I started drinking this tea, and I'm like, wow, okay, I feel it now, right? It's warming, beautiful aftertaste, but I'm just starting to feel stronger, right? Everything about it just is making me feel strong, and it's wonderful. I just love it. Absolutely love it. I'm actually not even doing it justice in the sense that this tea is not as hot as it should be. So I kind of feel bad that I'm wasting it. But anyways, he was saying that what you have to do is you have to get your space. You got to get your space. You got to start brewing tea for people. You've got to start, and he's true. Absolutely, he's true. Right? I got to start having a space. But that's my project for the winter. Is I'm going to find a space, and then when people come to Taiwan, you can come and drink some of this tea in a beautiful place. Because I've had a couple people send me emails. I'm coming. I want to visit. I want to buy some of your tea. I'm coming to Hualien, and I'm just like, well, sorry. I literally have nowhere to drink tea. Like nowhere. Not a single spot. I don't have a single spot to be able to drink tea. And so, unfortunately, I go to the park. I know lots of beautiful spots, but they're not really mine. So that's my plan for the wintertime, is to find a sort of a space, hopefully a space I can walk to with as beautiful music as I'm sure you can hear right now. My neighbor is practicing his erhu again. Can you hear it? On some rocks in nature? Yes, absolutely. But you know how much trouble that is? I'm thinking I'll just ride my bike there. You send you guys the GPS dot or something, right? But can you hear the beautiful music? I don't know if you can hear it. But the neighborhood erhu fellow is at it again. He's at it again. And anyways, yeah, I think that's about it for now. So, somebody just bought some tea. Thank you very much. Somebody who does not like inflation. He does not like inflation. Back when inflation started up, he actually bought 2 years at one time of the subscription service. He is not a fan of that inflation. Although I have not passed inflation on to you guys, because in general, because of what I've learned from Mr. Brent Johnson and the milkshake theory, I have been sort of playing the game of international currency rates. And so I've been able to, the costs of tea in Taiwan have raised a little bit, but not too much. Other things have raised, obviously, cost of living everywhere in the world, right? The money printing is exporting inflation across the entire world. But the costs of teas have not risen so much. Do you guys know why? Organic things are more expensive, but the organic thing is the people who make it. The organic thing is the land. And so when the cost of, say, fertilizer raises, other teas will raise in price, but the organic teas sort of stay the same because they don't actually have those inputs. And because organic teas don't have those inputs, their prices sort of stay pretty stable compared to other teas. And so I haven't had the teas that I buy go up in price because of that exact thing, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. And so I've been able to keep the costs of, say, the subscription service. I think I raised the like by a dollar a month. I raised it maybe a year ago or a year and a half ago or something like that. But other than that, I've been able to keep the subscription service and the teas basically about the same. Certainly within 5 or 10%. Whereas I think in a lot of places in the world, it's gone up. But anyways, I hope Mr. B, you enjoyed your tea if you're listening over the past 2 years. I guess you jumped in again, so maybe you did. But cheers. Any questions? Throw out the questions. We've been going for about 50 minutes. So any questions about anything here? Anybody have any questions? Questions? And if not, I will go and, thank you everybody so much who's ordered. I'm going to go and pack up some orders and get on with my day. So these two teas, they probably won't be for sale right away. I'm going to talk to the Discord folks. We'll figure out how to do things in the Discord, and we'll release them sort of there. If there's any left over, it'll go to the normal site. But again, I mean, if you guys are watching this, just join the Discord. You're already like a tea nerd, right? So if you're already a tea nerd, just join the Discord, and then you get access to these teas. I mean, it's strange. It always amazes me. I love it. It's amazing. Thank you to everybody who supports myself and my family in this project. But it's so weird. It's so weird. But that's the next step, is I'm going to figure out how to get see, this tea is so strong. It's like it's knocking me back. There's like, oh, I started drinking it, and I was just slurring my words. It's an absolutely beautiful tea, and see, I lost it. Anyways, it'll be for sale, right? It'll be for sale, and also too, in the springtime, I'm going to be doing more of Pian's teas. He does beautiful white teas, sort of the Eastern beauty style teas, and they are micro batches, right? He does everything himself, everything. The whole thing, everything himself. And so they're just tiny micro batches. And he's got like 5 different tea gardens, and he produces 5 different tea gardens, and he probably produces certainly less than 100 kilograms a year, much, much less. But he does a whole bunch of different types of teas. I'm looking forward to being able to share them with you guys, because he's gonna, his star is rising, and he's like, I want to share some more teas, which is awesome. But yeah. Okay, I guess that's probably it for now. So just to recap, if you want to get in the Discord, fire me off a DM or PM, send me a message. Also, too, it's not like it's a super secret thing. The next email will have a link to the Discord in it. Yeah, fire me off a message and I'll send you the link. How come have you come across any charcoal roasted white teas? That's a great question, and no, I have not. I've heard of them, but I have never come across a charcoal roasted white tea. But I'll take a look, see if I can find that out. Is that Eastern Beauty from Elan coming back? No, it's not. Some of it was produced this year, but I was in Canada when it was produced, and so I didn't get my hands on it. So not this year, unfortunately. But the one that I talked about earlier, it's the classic, really high quality Eastern Beauty, right? $1.50, $2 a gram style competition Eastern Beauty. Delicate, just a bit, like just from the Hsinchu Township, like everything about it is just Ume. It's from Ume Township. It's just the classic one, and so that will be on the site. And but yeah, that one I missed it, unfortunately. But yeah, no charcoal roasted white teas that I've seen. And yeah, I think we're good. I'm gonna go check on my bees and maybe give them a new bee box, see how that goes. And yeah, wherever in the world you happen to be, I certainly hope you have an amazing morning, evening, night, afternoon, all of that. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next live stream.